God bless the sacredness of this moment. I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row here. I want a little something in the background, some of my own personal music playing here to facilitate this. Excuse me while I get my ducks in a row. No, don't excuse me, but rather hold space for me while I get my ducks in a row. I am Astarius Miraculi, and loving you with the passion of heaven. Here to talk some astrology with you today. It's been a while since I've shared astrologically, and it is actually my oldest modality, astrology. I've been doing that in my spiritual walk longer than most everything. And so we have this full moon coming up in Aries on Sunday. Pacific time, it's about 2:08 in the afternoon. And so there is some information I'd like to share with you with regards to this frequency that we're stepping into. This is a very significant full moon in that it is making some very intimate connections with other planets. Making a connection to Pluto, making a connection to Saturn, making a connection to the north and south node of the moon. So there's some very powerful frequencies being activated through this full moon. First and foremost, being in the sign of Aries. Aries is self-identification. So we get to look at, in an emotionally amplified way, how is it that we are identifying ourselves? You know, what do we bear witness to when we look at who we are? Who do we feel that we are? Who do we feel others think that we are or feel that we are? Aries, powerful self-identification, powerful frequencies of optimism, of faith, of courage, and of course with some squares being involved here, there may be some challenging of the faith, some challenging of the courage, maybe some temptations toward being in a place of fear. So this full moon is making this relationship to the north and south nodes of the moon. The north node of the moon represents life purpose as it relates to present future. The south node of the moon represents life purpose as it relates to the present past. South, we're looking to the past. North, we're looking to the future. And so it's an opportunity, beloved, to look at how are you identifying life purpose? How do you see your life purpose as it relates to what is unfolding into your future? What is the measuring rod of your life purpose? Do you see life purpose as something that you do, achieve, and create? Is that the measuring rod of your life purpose? In truth, it is not. Life purpose is not measured by our doing, achieving, or creating. Life purpose is measured by our being. So you may be tempted to feel bad about yourself because you haven't did this, achieved that, created this. And of course, the doing, achieving, and creating are very important, but not the measuring rod of our worth. The measuring rod of worth is being. Creator loves us and validates us by virtue of the fact that we are. And on the part of our Creator, it is enlightened self-interest, because we are qualitative extensions of our Creator. We are God, Goddess Absolute by microcosmic extension, as God, Goddess Absolute is our own self by macrocosmic extension. And so we are, every single one of us, beloved, already infinitely wonderful and infinitely validated. Infinitely wonderful and validated by virtue of the fact that we are. And so now we're able to do, achieve, and create for the sheer joy of it. We don't have to scramble to do this, be this, create that, achieve this in order to up-level our self-worth. Our self-worth is already infinitely up-leveled just because we are. Just because we move and live and have our being in the resonance of our divine Creator. So we might feel some amplification of our emotions relative to this full moon as we look at life purpose. Now the North Node is in Cancer. So whenever the moon is full, there's a great amplification of whatever it is that's being touched. So there's this amplification of Cancerian energy, that is supreme emotionality. We get to look at the ways in which we are an ocean of emotion. We must learn to validate feelings, learn to feel better about our feelings, even though we live in a society that trains us away from our feelings. Somebody starts to cry, and then someone else says, "Oh, don't cry. I care about you, don't cry." And many times, what do they say? "You're making me very uncomfortable. Would you please stop crying?" We must learn to honor our tears. When I cry, I take a tear from each cheek, and I taste my tears. And I live in the deliciousness of my tears. When I'm tasting my tears, I am honoring whatever it is that I'm feeling in that particular moment. But I'm also receiving information. See, tears are coded with information about what it is that you're feeling in that particular moment. So you gain a deeper understanding of what's being felt at that moment as a result of ingesting your tears. So I invite you, when you cry, ingest your tears and feel good about it. When you cry, you know, the weakness would be if you pushed it down. That would be the weakness. You know, strength is when you allow yourself to be in the reality of that particular moment. That's strength. Weakness is pushing it down, because that is dishonoring the reality of that moment. Now, the South Node, relative to things of the past, sometimes things of the past that we may need to let go of, is in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is all about things that are very earthy. Okay, things that are of the material realm. You know, it's the methodology, it's the achieving, you know, it's the planning, you know, the structure, the foundation, all of which are very important, and yet all of which are of form. Form is the second stage of reality, and even, in a sense, the lesser measure of reality, because forms are always changing. Forms will come, and forms will go. This is a truth that we all know. And all things of time and space at some point will be erased. You see, this, you know, the faith, for example, our faith is formless. and yet it is the substance of the things that we hope for and the evidence of things that we've not seen, like the Bible says. By faith, the elders obtained a good report. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the Word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Everything of form has been created out of formlessness. The basic difference between form and formlessness is that form is of time, wherein everything has an expiration date, and formlessness is of eternity, unfolding down the corridors of forever. You see, co-eternal with God. Formlessness creates form. Formlessness has its resonance with the North Node in Cancer. Form has its resonance with the South Node in Capricorn. We must appreciate form. Form is important. Money is a form. That's important. Some people say, oh, I don't want to make a lot of money. Somebody says that, would lie about other things too. We need that medium of exchange. And yet we don't want to make it the big kahuna. And we don't want to base our appreciation solely upon that. You see, thoughts and feelings create all forms, and blessings thrive before they are born. You see, so see with the eye of mind and heart into infinite realms of the great unseen. Choose wonderful feelings without concrete reasons, and all the riches of the kingdom are now yours to redeem. Now, whenever there's a full moon, there's always a relationship connotation. In the zodiacal wheel, you know, the opposition, which is reflected through a full moon, is when the moon and the sun are in opposition with each other. You see, so a full moon or an opposition represents a first house, seventh house aspect. Seventh house is the relationship that marries the other. First house is self. You see, in relationships, we come together to reveal one another to each other. In relationship, we have this dynamic of the you, the me, and the us. And the us is the wisest of the two, because us is the combination of both energies. See, us is also that which will help to bring about an up-leveling of self-worth. But we want to also up-level self-worth even before the manifestation of relationship. We must be in appreciation of it in advance. See, be where you are before you get there. Be where you are while yet getting there. Have faith in advance. Let good be left not up to chance, for if faith be post-dated, then your blessings are belated. And when you're good, you detain, the whole world bears the strain. So invoke the spirit of fire, purge the enemy of your desire, make the wise decision to maximize your vision. So be of the sacred intention to up-level the quality of your relationships. And know that when you're in a relationship, you're having a rendezvous with God, because the supreme content of that soul is creator. Go to the center of anything and you find creator, you find love, you find light, you find benevolence. And so when we're in relationship with the beloved, we're actually having a rendezvous with God, a dance with divinity. There's a unconscious knowingness of that when people are in the honeymoon stage of relationship, when they're deeply in love with each other. And you notice that they treat each other like God. The beloved can do no wrong, you see, because there's this innate and cellular knowingness that in fact they are dancing with God. They are having a rendezvous with divinity, a rendezvous with source, you see. And so treat your beloveds as a divine representation of God, Goddess Absolute. Even if they're running amok, don't let the way that you see them be an affirmation of their running amok, but look larger. See the divine redemption for them. Hold the vision of them being a shining expression of love and honor and benevolence, you know, and uplifting frequencies for all that they come in contact with. And by seeing them in that light, even though they're not in the exemplification of that, By you seeing them in that way, you make that sacred deposit in their soul bank that's going to be there and accumulate interest until such time that they make the withdrawal and experience the quickening of the up-leveling of the frequency that you left for them. And that which you do unto the drop, you also do unto the universe. When you feel that goodness about one individual being, then the universe is quickened, and the universe is expanded and glorified, even under God, Goddess Absolute. We add to the glory of God and the expansiveness of the benevolence of God by the individualization of our benevolent expressions when we're in this dance of relationship. When you're in relationship, you're dancing with God, a rendezvous with divinity. Remember that. And the love that you share with them is also the love that you share with your own self by extension, because when you're sharing that love with them, there is also this cellular counterpart within their being that is the totality of your soul and the totality of your soul expression. Each and every one of us have a cell within us for every man, woman, and child, every angel and ascended master, every ocean, mountain and stream, every mineral, plant and animal, every elemental star and galaxy, because we are the master cell and the master soul, cellular, microcosmic container of God, Goddess Absolute. We are a soul in the body of the universe, and the universe is a cell in the body of our soul. So we have a cell for all that is. And that which we do unto any facet of the all that is also that which we're doing unto our own self by reverse extension. So let's be loving towards each other. Let's be benevolent towards each other. Let's recognize that by loving each other, we're up-leveling the quality of the universe. Such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, this full moon is also making a square to the planet Saturn in Capricorn, which has to do with achievement, foundation, timing, methodology, planning, systemizing. And so we get a chance to look at maybe what isn't working in the methodology of our life and what needs to be changed relative to our methodology. You see, because at the same time that this full moon is squaring Saturn, it's also squaring Pluto, whereas Pluto and Saturn are in a bit of a conjunction with each other. Pluto's death, regeneration, and transformation. And so we're looking at, the death of the status quo. It's not business as usual. Business as usual is dying away. Don't try to desperately hold on to the painful past. The painful past has passed away, and used to be's don't make no honey. So let it go. What is it that you need to let go in terms of the way that your modus operandi, your MO? Have you been doing it in a way that reflects balance for you and that will get you to, that exalted place that you're reaching for? It's also a temptation to measure your worth by how far it is that you've come. But even that is not the measuring rod of your worth. See, also Saturn is ruler over time. So are you letting time bully you? Are you feeling like, oh my God, time is running out? Do you have the expectation of desperation when it comes to time? If so, you want to trade it in for the expectation of inspiration. The expectation of inspiration is not desperate to reach any particular goal and never feeling like time is running out. I asked you the question, beloved, can time run out on eternity? No. And you are the resonance of eternal. Or eternity, you are co-eternal with God. And so time can't run out on you. Time can't run out on me. Does it mean that we'll get everything done in this lifetime? Maybe not. Probably not. Will we get everything done in 10 lifetimes? Probably not. But when you measure 1 or 10 lifetimes alongside eternity, they come up the same. That's not to say that we aren't advancing in life. We're still advancing. But don't be caught up in the false perfection of all or nothing. See, if I don't have it all, I don't have anything at all. That's one of the things that always becomes a temptation when Pluto is in the mix, and this full moon is squaring Pluto, shadow of Pluto, all or nothing. If I didn't have it all, or if I didn't get it all, I didn't get anything at all. See, all or nothing is like seeing the glass as half empty. When you see the glass as half empty, it's in the potential of emptying. See, that's minimizing the maximum. It would be far better to flip it and see the glass as half full. See, now it's in the potential of filling. That's maximizing minimum. See, when you maximize the minimum becomes the maximum. So you have a maximum appreciation for whatever the minimum yield of accomplishment has been for you, even if you feel like it's been minimal. Don't look at it with minimal eyes. Look at it with maximum eyes. Maximize the minimum, and the minimum becomes the maximum. What is it that needs to die? What is it that no longer serves? Are you hanging out in resentment? Are you hanging out in manipulation? Are you manipulating others? Or are you allowing someone to manipulate you? See, if you're the manipulator, you're breathing life into the false expression of manipulation, because it's not the authenticity of our being, because who can you manipulate except your own self reflected in another? So when you are a manipulator, you're breathing life into manipulation. But likewise, when you allow someone else to manipulate you, you are also breathing life into manipulation. Because when you allow someone or something to manipulate you, then you're giving life force into that false quality. So don't be a manipulator, and don't let others manipulate you. Manipulation is meant to die away. Resentment is meant to die away. Trust and forgiveness, the sacred twins. Trust brought us to this earth. To heaven, forgiveness ascends. The rage of resentment blocks the lessons we must learn, and the darkest of relationships then constantly return. The weapon of distrust breed the horrors of your pain, and distrustful ones will come to you until you trust again. Forgiveness is the master key, opening the cage to set you free from distrust, misery, pain, and strife from those you feel have wrecked your life. Who can do a thing to you that you yourself did not create? Will you place blame outside yourself, or was it you who wove your fate? The past you reap, the future you sow, the present collects the debts you owe. If you had not the need, there would be no dirty deed. Much wisdom to be gained from the center of your pain. Forgiveness is a must, for it teaches you to trust. Suspicion is a hungry beast that rips away your inner peace. Let go now of past resentment toward fallen love of yesterday. If not, your past repeats itself and steals the joy of this great day. If you don't forgive the past, you can't trust the present, and you then attract a future untrustworthy and unpleasant. Forgiving the past, trusting the present, making the future sweet and pleasant, blessing the darkness, making it right, reversing the tide, and freeing the light. Bless the darkness, make it right, reverse the tide, and free the light. Lastly, there's a frequency of sexuality in the mix. Plutonian energy, Pluto, natural ruler of Scorpio, and even Aries, ruled by Mars. There's a great frequency of sexuality, which is a very benevolent energy. By virtue of sexuality, we have all earned our incarnation. We could not be here without the sacred coming together of mama and daddy, the egg and the sperm, to then give us the space to come into incarnation. So let us see sexuality with benevolent eyes. No matter how much misuse there is in the world, if it ain't divine, it ain't mine. It's not the authenticity of who we are. If it ain't divine, it ain't mine. Bless the sexuality. Learn to resonate with sacred sexuality and erotic innocence. The more harmoniously aligned you are with sexual energy, the more powerful a creator you will be, because the same energy that makes babies and brings erotic pleasure is the same energy that creates anything on any level. Manifest a house, manifest a car, manifest an up-level quality of personality, of individuality. So we want to be at peace with that energy. We want to have sacred use for the juice, Juicifari, be a Juicifarian, and dance in the resonance of harmonious alignment with sexuality, the force of creation. And you will be a more powerful creator. And dance in the resonance of innocence. See, Father, Mother God, into your heart I deliver my conscience, so that I will always remember and exemplify your gift of divine innocence. I do this on behalf of all, and the light of eternal forgiveness shines through us. I am, we are, eternally innocent. If it ain't divine, it ain't mine. I am, we are, eternally innocent. If it ain't divine, it ain't mine. I am, we are, eternally innocent. If it ain't divine, it ain't mine. I am Astarius Miraculi. I love you so much. Be sure and go to my website, experience some sound clips. My music, I have many music albums and a couple of books there, and I am also available for intuitive astrology readings as well as sound healing transmissions with didgeridoo and vocal harmonics. Now, I'm going to let the conclusion of what I'm sharing be with the didgeridoo. I'm going to offer some frequency of healing with the didgeridoo, so open your heart to all of these wonderful principles that have been shared, exemplify them in a personal way, and receive these sound currents as an extension of blessing, sonic resonance unto you. Oh, my goddess. Thank you, beloveds, for receiving that vibration. The heavens will never be the same, for that sacred transmission is intended for us and all of our beloved angels and masters, teachers and guides, even unto our Creator, God, Goddess Absolute. Yes, we must remember to have the presence of mind and heart to bless our Creator. Also want to give a shout out for the Resonate Festival taking place in the Verde Valley, very near Sedona, Arizona. It's at Jackpot Ranch. And it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, coming up starting tomorrow. Some of you are already coming, and also some of you are receiving the heads up now and getting the quickening that you want to be there. I will be opening up, doing the opening invocation, and opening the whole vibration up from 12 until 1 tomorrow. I'll also be doing spontaneous presentations throughout the weekend, along with participating in the Sonic Alchemy sound bath that will happen on Sunday. So just wanted to give a shout out for that. And you want more information, go to resonate.com. And then you can get all of the particulars and get your tickets or whatever the case may be. Anyway, I love you so much, and thank you for remembering who you are. Thank you for loving on yourself. Thank you for knowing that you make a monumental impact in the expansion of life, that life is better by virtue of you. Thank you for remembering that. Thank you for believing in the possibility of redemption for every being in the whole of existence, therefore having the whole universe's back through that individual or those individuals. Let's feel good about each other. Let's walk each other home, and let's open up this resonance of ascension and make our way back to that absoluteness from which we have come. I appreciate love you. Namaste. I love you so much.